In this video, I'm gonna show you how to wrap your hands for Osu like a warrior. Let's go. So let's start off by considering why you would want to wrap your hands in the first place. Well, basically it can fix two problems. The first one being the slipping of the pen. So I'm sure you've noticed many times when you play longer maps or more intensely jump maps that your hand gets very sweaty and the pen can just kind of jump out of your hand and just slip away. So if you wrap your hands like this will not happen. It will completely eliminate the slipping of the pen. So that's one big reason. And the second reason, which for me is even bigger, even more important, is that it will instantly improve your aim. Literally instantly. Your hand will become more stable and you will be able to hit much faster speeds with your aim. Yeah, it's a great fix. I've not seen it mentioned anywhere and it is massive. So those are the two reasons as to why you would want to do it. And let's take a look at how I do it and let's see. So I've got a bandage here. This is a standard medical bandage. It is non-stretchable. This one is 5 centimeters wide. I recommend getting the narrower or the narrowest one you can find, and it is 4 meters in length. I will only need 2.5 meters to do the wrap, which I'm about to do. I'm dragging, so I hold my pen with 3 fingers, the middle finger supporting from the bottom, the index finger from the top and thumb from the side. And so I had to find a way to wrap the bandage around my fingers in such a way that it will increase the stability and will not reduce my range of motion. So what I came up with, this will definitely be different for you if you're hovering or if you have a different grip, maybe some 4-finger grip or whatever, however you grip your pen, you'll need to experiment with this. But for this exact grip, the best way I found to wrap my hand is something like this. So I'm gonna start by taking this bandage and just holding it in between my 2 fingers. Since the first wrap I want to be around those 2 fingers and the pen itself. And also one more thing, this bandage seems pretty wide right now, but as you keep using it, it will become much more narrow. So there's no real reason to cut it, since then it's gonna become too thin. So it is 5 centimeters, but after some use, it will definitely be something like this, maybe. So that's not really a problem. Just get the narrowest one you can find. So I'll start by gripping the bandage in here. Then I will want to hold it with the pen and wrap it around the pen and my 2 fingers like this. And I will do that around 4 times or so. This part is very important in terms of the amount of pressure you put in here. You don't want too much pressure. If it's too tight, it will cut your blood flow and it will reduce your range of motion. So just check it out. Just test it out if you can, if you can still grip your pen comfortably with this. And for me right now, this is looking okay-ish. So yeah, so I'll keep it 4 times, maybe let's do 5 for the starter. So that's 5 wraps. Then for the next one, I will want to go around the pen like so, tighten it down and wrap it again. Do not put too much pressure on it, because if you wrap all of those kind of loose and then you put one more, tight wrap around it, then it will really tighten it down. You'll have no blood flow. You'll have to unwrap it at the end and it's a mess. So just gently, just enough pressure. Just, we'll need to get a feeling for it, but don't over tighten this. And yeah, next wrap goes below the pen. So right here, also tighten it down. And that is the bottom anchor point done. So now let's wrap it around maybe 2 more times or so, just so that it doesn't unwrap by itself. And that is this part done. So now let's, after doing those 2 wraps, it's looking like this. And now I want to go below and go under the pen like so, and make a wrap in here, just to separate this part and make sure that it doesn't unwrap by itself. And I recommend already gripping the pen the way you will want to grip it in the future. So while doing while wrapping right now, you want the pen already in the position that you will be holding it in, so that you don't have to like push on it more, because you don't want to create too much tension in especially in your knuckles and like the bones in here, because you can damage the nerves in your hand if you put too much pressure. So I don't recommend that. The next thing, moving on, is you want to, or I in my grip want to go right here. I want this a little bit lower even, so I will go here. I will wrap under the fingers. Again, do not over tighten it, just apply just enough pressure. And I want to go around 4 times. So that is 4 times. It is actually a bit too tight for me right now. So let's unwrap it and do it a bit softer. Something like this. As you can see, the bandage is getting thinner as you use it. It will become even thinner with longer use. Alright, and then want to go here around the top, also tighten it down, wrap it again, and then go around the other side. So like here, right here, wrap it around again. That is the top anchor point done. Again, for me right now it's a bit too tight, so I'm gonna unwrap it in a sec. So 3 times, just so that it doesn't unwrap by itself. And then I want to go here and do like 3 wraps or so, which go under here and here. And then at this point I will just cut this bandage. All right, maybe just one more, just so that it's enough. And let's cut it. So let's cut it here. That is this part is around 2.5 meters or so. And then this excess part I usually just put in here. It shouldn't unwrap by itself. So that's how it works. The bandages are pretty wide right now. We got one anchor point below. We got one anchor point right here, the bottom one, and then the second one is on those bones right here. And yeah, as you can see, I could technically, with just those 2 fingers, I could technically play and get a full range of motion, which is kind of crazy. Then obviously adding the thumb, it's much better. However, the grip is still not done, or the wrap is still not done, because one more thing I like to do is add a little bit of a half stretch bandage on top of that. So this one is optional, but I do like the feeling of it, so I will add it. This one is 6 centimeters in wide in the width of it. So the width of this one is 6 centimeters, is half stretch, as you can see. And yeah, let's start by just gripping it here. And this one I'm wrapping very lightly, just nothing major. It is just a stabilization on top. I like to wrap it 5 times like so. Then I go around my palm twice and come back here around the wrist, and I either just finish it by wrapping it around the wrist a bunch of times, or I go around here around the kind of go a bit forward towards the bones on the hand to kind of give it a bit of compression to the whole hand, which is also a welcome feeling. It does make you a bit more accurate and a bit so it is a nice thing. And I finish the wrap by just wrapping it like this, and it should hold by itself. Should be fine. Alright, so that is the whole wrap done. That's how it looks, and as you can see, it adds a bit of stabilization to the wrist, as well as a lot of stability to the pen itself with 2 anchor points, one lower and one higher. It's really good in terms of, you know, in terms of accuracy and stability. Like, it's massive. It's really, really massive. So the grip is done. Instant stability boost, as you can see, looks pretty cool in my opinion. I will also say my first prototype of this was using hairbands on my hand just to tie the pen. That's not very good because elastic materials I find are too slow, so they create a bit of a delay, which you don't want. So for me, the thing that works best is the non-stretch material like this, and bandages are the best. I also tried boxing bandages, but they are too thick, so those medical bandages are really the best, I think. They're very light, very strong, and they get the job done really well. So yeah, pretty good. Alright, so experiment with this. Let me know what is your experience, whether you're dragging or hovering. I think this can be a massive help. And the bandages are dirt cheap, so buying them won't be a problem. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel and see you in the next video. Got my hand wrapped already, so I got business to do. Bye bye.